Alright, it turns out there's no upgrade discount on this car this week. Oh well, so be it. Continuing on. Alright, hybrid horsepower stage 6. Here we go. Hasty Hockenheim. So stage 6 takes place at Hockenheim. And yeah, Chip thinks Ahmed doesn't know we're here, but we saw him in previous stage, which is part of this, UHC. Um, so, all right, so much for that. Anyway, goal one looks like it's gonna be a fastest lap challenge with all Stradale grid. So we're racing against the same car essentially. So fastest lap time. Let's hire Eric since he's offering his service for free, and with the fastest lap, it's gonna place us in P1. Because I'm assuming that it will adjust the not necessarily physical location in the track in the race, but based on your lap time. And we have a standing start and 3 laps around Hockenheim Grand Prix. I think we'll put the car in red otherwise. So if I can, get through a stage without servicing, then definitely I will try to do that. We'll see if what the remainder of the stage goals look like as we progress. But for now, let's head backwards. Let the other guys pass since we are not at the tail end of the grid. So we'll just kind of get back near the exit of the Sachs curve, heading into the southern curve, and then we'll do a little bit of winding up and launch. Go, here we go. So this way, our lap 1 time, as you notice, the clock, it hasn't started until you cross that finish line. So this way we actually will be able to get a good sense of what the fast lap time is going to be. So just have to be careful, because they did mention no off track. So as long as I think there's a little bit of grace time. So if you just clip a corner just a tiny bit, as long as you don't do it too much, I think you can kind of get away with it. So we got a generous track marshals this time. And ever so troublesome hairpin. This guy actually surprisingly has a strong brakes. So even with the great acceleration, sometimes we can lose track of how fast we're going. Okay, the opponents are posting their time, minute 24. Alright. But of course, our opponents are gonna improve their time by a good amount because those guys did the standing start. We are doing sort of a rolling start, you know what I mean? So we better set a fairly good lap time for our very first lap, and we'll see if the rank changes dynamically depending on the lap time, not the grid position. Right. So all right, minute 18. All right, so that's nice. I would say nice healthy buffer to start off this challenge. Alright. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, the brakes on this guy actually is surprisingly good, I would say. Of course, I do have a couple of those racing dollar upgrades on board, so perhaps that those upgrades do make a impact. Although, I mean, I have speed upgrades as well, right? I got all the upgrades except for that stage 3 racing dollar upgrade on engine. So I got all the other racing dollar upgrades available on this car before you start having to invest in gold. So, alright. Anyway, our opponent just posted their official, we'll call it the lap time. And yeah. So they are definitely improving. But let's see if we get a better lap time in lap 2 for ourselves. Minute 18. Alright, so slightly improved. Alright. So we're building on the lead, which is good. And of course, as we spend a bit more time here, our lap time would be, improving, right? As we figure out the track, how this car handles, how late we can wait before we brake. Yeah, so I feel like I'm braking a little too early now. But it's just one of those like funny moments. If I push like a little too long, like if I don't brake early, if I brake a little too late, then yeah, I forgot about braking there. So it's sideways, so it will I won't go off track. Anyway, so this lap, obviously, the last one, I don't expect it's gonna be really any good, but that's okay. We already set the faster lap time than our opponents, and so far I haven't seen anybody else posting better time, so the race will be over before anybody else does, so we are good. And we'll throw it sideways to finish the race. Alright, so best lap was minute 18.916, just under minute 19. Alright, so good enough for getting through our goal 1 of this stage. 3 laps pays about exactly 1500 fame points. So not exactly a huge payout, but that's not too bad, I suppose. Yeah, good. I mean, that's a minute 21 versus minute 19, so about 2 seconds lead, right? And good job, Eric. So that's yeah, the still missing 1 racing dollar upgrades as we progress here. We'll see. All right, so goal 2, what do we have? All right, we gotta hit the target speed of 206 miles per hour or 331.5 kph. All right, so let's give it a go and see what happens. We got another 3 laps, and all right, so we already kind of know where we have to set the fastest time. It's that long straight heading into the hairpin, right? So as it turns out, you have to get some help when you're running with let's say minimal upgrade here. So if you haven't invested any gold into your upgrades, especially that deals with speed elements. So here I am getting a little help from our friend Natalia. Thank you very much. And yes, as soon as you hit that target, you've got to brake. And as I said, remember, this guy has really solid brakes. So our opponents can definitely, I mean, Natalia got pushed a little bit from me, but she even stayed on track, at least, she didn't get all of her wheels off track there. So we'll do that 2 more times, right? Easy enough. And once again, this one, they didn't mention anything about having to finish in certain rank. So we shall see if, I mean, once I hit it, I'll probably just fall back in the grid and, finish dead last, maybe. Alright, so this is not necessary to swing wide in this one because we're not going to be anywhere near hitting the top speed that we need. The only spot that we can do it is the last place that we just did in the previous lap, right? So we just gotta make sure, allow some space between the P4, in my case Natalia and myself, so we have some space without like completely like tailgating and bumping into Natalia, because we don't want her to lose control of her car either, because if she slows down, then we're not going to be able to, maximize our top speed. So there we go. That is good enough for second run. Now, I had to do this a few extra times because you know, at the beginning I had to figure out like, okay, I cannot do this unless I am drafting, right? So that's the first attempt. I was so far away from the target, it wasn't even close. And then the next few runs, you know, as I was catching the, you know, getting in the draft and get the target speed, I was able to do it first 2 laps, and then I would fail in the 3rd lap. So, I mean, it's the same mechanics that you have to do 3 times, but perhaps, you know, like, consistency is, of course, a different issue, right? So, here we go. Let's try. See if the 3rd time is a charm here. And heading into... We got a nice speed. Nice space. Oop, don't slip. Okay, so we're a little far behind, but close enough for still catching the draft. So that's looking pretty promising. 320, and there we go. All right, we had to smash into Natalia, and it's like crashing into 2 cars to keep me from going off track there. But that's all good. We got 3 of 3 top speed targets achieved. So yeah, we'll just kind of take it easy the remainder of this lap. And yeah, since there is no condition for what position that we have to finish, we'll let our opponents pass us by, and then we'll just kind of finish that last. I think there were 10 cars, right? Yeah, including ourselves. I don't think there's anybody else behind me at this point. So no, we don't need to get lapped by any opponents. We'll just, you know, fall back. No reason to push too hard at this moment. Now I'm wondering, with the 3 laps and that lap 3 crash, it might throw my car in critical conditions. So then that would mean I'd have to get the car serviced, but doesn't matter. Alright, there we go. Finish, let the tail cross the finish line. Finishing in P10, I believe that's a dead last in this grid. Got yeah, suffered some damage there, so some penalties taken out of the clean race bonus. That's fine. Fame bonus, we'll pick up a few 940 to be exact, fame points. But we are through the goal 2, so that was a little tricky. Alright, and I guess it doesn't throw the car in critical condition, so okay, never mind. So it's a good thing we took advantage of Eric in previous goal to get through this. Alright, up next we got a speed snap that we have to finish under 20 seconds. Alright, so still 11 of 28 upgrades available on board, so almost all the racing dollar except for the last engine one. 261.7 kph is the target to hit. So Hockenheim Grand Prix, this is yeah, all about heading into that hairpin and turning around, right? So how well you come out of that hairpin will determine your top speed. And this time we actually have a timer, so I cannot like precisely measure out exactly where we can go flat out heading into the hairpin. Although this car, I don't think we can take anything near hairpin flat out. But yeah, so it looks like relatively easy challenge here. I mean, that's a little bit of an overkill, 272.92. So that's like almost 10 kph above Natalia's time, who apparently, yeah, is in this UHC event with us. Interesting. Alright, so obviously speed snap does not take up that much service bars, hardly at all. So that means we can get through this stage without servicing in the middle, as long as we can get through that first two. All right, so we are ready to tackle the final goal, where we have to hit the target speed of 162 miles per hour or 260.7 kph each lap as we cross the finish line. All right, so this one, yeah, needed some upgrades, since it's not like we can turn around and improve our time in the very beginning, because this one we have a rolling start, and as you see, we are far away from our target speed that we need to hit. So there's no way of increasing the the speed at the very beginning. So we still have one more engine upgrade that we can get. So now this is with all the Racing Dollar upgrades on this car on board, including that stage 3 upgrade in engine, right? So same thing, we are starting here, maximizing the full circuit, full track, and if you see the speed as I am crossing this finish line, 257. Yeah, we need 3 to 4 kph more from the very beginning. So obviously Racing Dollar upgrades alone isn't cutting it, so it's time to get some upgrades that deals with speed elements. So first thing that I tried is getting the body upgrade, because it's cheaper, to stage 3, stage 2 being the gold and stage 3 being the Racing Dollars. And actually that costed me 65 gold, and as you look at my speedometer, I'm slowing down the video so you can see it a little bit better. 259. We need to hit 260.7, which is closer to 261, obviously. So that ain't it. And typically, like when you get two upgrades on either drivetrain or body, they have similar specs, but not on this car. It actually makes a significant difference. So this time we rewind back the time, and this time I'm gonna get the drivetrain upgrade, which does cost a little extra gold, 80 gold, but spec wise there's enough of a boost to bring my PR high enough or higher, and also more importantly the top speed and acceleration. Actually there's a significant enough of a difference. So yes, stage 3 upgrade takes a full day. Watch a few ads, and here we are rolling again. And even with those 3 upgrades on the drivetrain, you may have a little bit of you may have to do it a couple of extra times to get through that finish line, the very first, from the coming into the lap 1 at a speed fast enough to essentially get started on this goal. And once you got through that part, the rest of it is actually not too bad. You just do the thing that you normally do, right? Climb up the ranks and finish each lap. We already know the time that they set was minute 19, and even without those before I put on all the Racing Dollar upgrades on this car, I was I mean, it was close, but in earlier goals in the stage I was able to get through complete a lap under minute 19. It was like close, minute 18 and change. But now with the extra upgrades, that's a lot more doable, obviously. And yeah, this challenge, finishing first, not too bad. So here's the problem: if you kind of turned around at the beginning, because it's a rolling start, it's not like you can just kind of stop right away and turn around. It takes time for you to spin around, right, and get back and extend your run. But that sets you far enough that you may be able to get started on that hitting the target speed in the very first finishing the outlap. But then top of this grid is gonna be, you know, too far ahead. I mean, these cars, they're all driving the same car, so you know, they're not messing around. Let's put it that way. So if you get going, you know, with 80 gold spent on the car and keep it rolling, then you know you don't have to struggle with that. And considering that there is what 125 gold rewards available in this event, so if that's the only gold upgrade that we need to put on, considering we're near the end of this event, right? We're in the penultimate stage here. So if that's the only one, then we still come out ahead with some net positive 45 gold or so. And then let's see, yeah, I don't know how far we can go with the current PR that we're sporting here to in the bonus series, the cars featured in the Hybrid Horizon, right? Because that one requires like 88.8 PR to get through that, and that is gonna cost us dearly. To meet that PR requirement, you need 955 gold. So with the 80 taken out, you know, it's at least we can win the car, and we can wait for the upgrade discount, right? But anyway, end of a goal or end of a stage, so don't forget to get your car serviced. Here's the upgrades I used to get through this stage. So there you have it. Body upgrades, not the answer, even though it's cheaper. It was the drivetrain upgrade that seemed to be the key to get through. Alright, so for that we get 20 gold, 2,000 victory points, 50,000 racing dollars, 2,000 victory points. Next tier reward is gonna be just the racing dollars, so we already knew that though, right? Anyway, the right driver, well, yes, has to be, right? And right upgrades for that matter. Hit the road, head to Italy. So the final stage will take place at Monza. All right, and promise to promise. Where is? I swear we saw him. Anyway, so that will do it for the stage 6 playthrough. I know, a little bummed that we didn't get the upgrade discount on this car, but it is what it is. Alright, so that'll do it for stage 6. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next stage.